All right, y'all, let's talk about Essencefest because Essencefest 2025 just wrapped. And yeah, you know when the vibes is off at like a family cookout, when the potato salads got raisins, the music don't slap, and someone randomly brought quinoa? Yeah, that's what Essencefest felt like this year. And now the aunties are not showing up, the uncles didn't even turn on the grills, and the kids, they already left to go kick it with Kendrick. So let's talk about how the original cookout got turned into a Pan-African potluck that nobody RSVP'd for.
So I'm at Essence right now. It's 7:42. Started at 7. They announced the first performers, which were supposed to be Siren, a couple minutes ago. They just cut their music. They never came out. If you look around, it is so empty. And I understand people are going to be late, but where is everybody? What's going on? Where are the performers? Where are the performers?
I'm sitting here with you. I don't know.
It's interesting. Our first Essence has been interesting.
I think it's because it's 4th of July Friday.
Maybe. I don't. Okay. I'm just seeing a lot of trends this Essence with some miscommunications, stuff getting canceled or moved around
All those people
last minute. I don't know. But where are the performers?
Don't piss me off, goddamn. I'm trying to give him a good ass show. Y'all fucking up my damn mic and shit.
A few moments later.
So you know it's bad when Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, or whoever ain't there and the black vendors are selling incest to themselves. This year, Essencefest had the lowest turnout in decades. We're talking empty panel rooms, vendors packing up early, and performers posting IG stories like they were at a family reunion and not a cultural phenomenon. So let me give you like some raw context about it. In 2019, Essencefest brought in over 530,000 people to New Orleans. That same year, it generated $280 million in economic impact. Historically, Essencefest has rivaled Mardi Gras in cultural weight, especially for black women. For 20 plus years, it's been the go-to for events for the black American community, music therapy, girls trips, and business summits. So what happened? And I'll tell you, black Americans collectively decided, you know what, we good, y'all enjoy that. And honestly, it was like a soft protest. No hashtags, no press releases, just absence. This wasn't a boycott. It was a boundary, a subtle but loud reminder that you don't get to remix the cookout and think we'll still show up like nothing changed. So we got to talk about Kendrick because he plays a part in this, and I'm going to tell you why. When Kendrick said, "They not like us," the world shook. But black Americans, we felt that. It wasn't just about Drake. It was about the world constantly imitating our rhythm while erasing our roots. And suddenly, gatekeeping didn't seem petty. It felt necessary. Essencefest 2025 was the live action version of Kendrick's bar. It was the please respect our space moment. Because years after years, we've watched everyone monetize black American culture while claiming it belongs to the global black experience. And now we're putting locks on the doors of the culture we built. You know what Kendrick said? They want our slang. They want our struggle, our sound, our soul, but they're not like us.
Shout out to you against Stan, but you've been on that lately. I said, I asked you that. I said, where did that come from out of nowhere? You just, did your pops talk to you? What the hell happened? Nigga, Joe just came back like, you know what? Black Americans, we're not getting our respect out of nowhere. I've been here for like 3 years, and he wasn't on that. This past year he was.
You got to be on it. You got to be, if you on that, you got to be more vocal about it now. Yes. Because other things are visible and vocal.
Got it. You said that.
Like, there's too many people feeling comfortable getting on stake and some of these other right-wing spots. Just talking about, yeah, you fucking American blacks, you ain't got no culture, American black. It's becoming a thing, what they're saying about black Americans. It is. But
and it's visible.
Here in America, yeah.
Really?
I'm seeing more of it. I'm seeing more of it. You said people have been saying that for a long time. What have they been saying for a long time?
I haven't heard
American
that.
black people, we don't really have a culture because...
What?
Yeah.
Well, let me, before this spins, because we can't trace our lineage.
A lot of other cultures are coming into black American, like the Essencefest, and they're coming in and buying into it. Can I say that? Or
They
buying
steal
and
it.
purchase.
Or
I
they
don't
steal it.
want to say stealing.
A lot of them steal our shit.
A lot of people are having, a lot of Black Americans are having issue with things like that are transpiring. They feel like their culture is being taken from them. And like Joe said last time, it's a bunch of flags. I mean, he didn't say it like in a negative way, but just how it looks different, how it's presented different from when it was before. When Black Americans owned it, it was like this. And then now it's like, you bought into this company, cool, but you're shoving your culture into our face.
So now I really want to know who had the audacity to put Jollof rice versus Jambalaya on the Essencefest schedule like it was a pandemic versus battle. Let me be very clear here. Nobody, and I mean nobody, asked for that standoff. This was like watching your cousins argue over who made better Kool-Aid when the real issue is the kitchen's on fire. The comparison wasn't cute. It was performative because let's be real, the average Black American doesn't eat jollof rice unless they got a Nigerian roommate or Liberian coworker that invited them to a baby shower. But it's not about hate. It's not at all. It's just not our cuisine. It's not part of our culinary soul. So this wasn't a celebration. This was like a forced cultural FaceTime call. It was basically giving like, hey, taste this thing you don't even know. Compete with it. Like, sir, ma'am, please. We're still recovering from the oxtail inflation.
What the hell happened to Essencefest? That has been the $1 million question for the past couple weeks. According to a lot of people online, this year's Essencefest had a different energy and not everyone felt at home. Why is that type of rice even here? If you really want to get into it, you should have had red rice versus jambalaya. Because I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, and New Orleans and Charleston are very similar. Like, they got Creole people, we got Gullah Geechee people, and we make red rice in Charleston, okay? If you really wanted to have a Black American cook-off event, that's what it should have been. You should have had, like, different foods from America, okay? The gag of this entire situation is Essence Festival is being run by a descendant of African slave traders and slave owners.
So now we got to talk about the main issue. We got to talk about leadership. Because back in the day, we had Susan L. Taylor, legendary editor-in-chief of Essence magazine, Harlem raised, Afro-centered, and tapped into every thread of Black American life. Yeah, she was born to Caribbean parents, but she grew up on the blocks of New York during the golden era of hip hop, during Angela Davis' glow up and Coretta Scott King's marches. Susan understood Black American culture because she lived it. She never tried to dilute it in the name of inclusion. And now we got Caroline Wanga, born in Kenyan privilege, her father a doctor, her lineage linked to those who reportedly sold other Kenyans into slavery. Oh, and she's allegedly married to a white woman, by the way. Although that's unconfirmed because the internet keeps getting 404 errors when we try to fact check. But one thing we can confirm is her obsession with Pan-Africanism that decenters Black Americans on Black Americans' platform.
All this BS about African versus U.S. Black versus Caribbean Black versus Canadian Black versus Antarctica Black. I don't have facts to prove that. We everywhere. Arctic Black. If you allow that narrative to exist within you, you're participating in dismantling who we're supposed to be in this world, y'all. Rich and I are no less dedicated to the Black community in the U.S. than we are to the Black community in Africa and in the Caribbean and in Europe. And the fact that our descent is African and your descent might be different does not mean that we can't represent all. And we're not fighting for all. And we keep letting this narrative exist in the world. I told y'all this is me. If you were calling me, this is how it would come out, y'all. And I'm going to tell you why I'm triggered on that in a second. Anybody can believe what they want to believe. What I need the world part of this to do is to proactively dismantle the part of that conversation that is about if you ain't a Black, I certify you don't deserve to help make Black better.
Wanga was Target's DEI director, so her mission has always been corporate diversity optics, and it shows. Like, just look at who she hired to stage things. But to be fair, the company organizing Essencefest had been involved since 2012, 5 years before Essence was purchased from Time magazines by African leadership. But it's really telling that only under this new leadership, we're now seeing a deliberate shift that appears to marginalize Black American heritage in favor of Pan-African agenda. Her version of Essencefest isn't about New Orleans or Louisiana bounce or Mississippi storytelling. It's literally about universal vibes and marketplace inclusion. It's like she took a soul food restaurant, right, and added a sushi bar and then blamed us for not liking the new menu.
I hate the diaspora wars, and I feel like they're using a lot of words just trying to say African booty scratcher on the cool.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't like the way that she addressed the situation, understanding that this is a festival created specifically to celebrate our culture. We do not go to other people's culture and try to change their events or their festivals or their celebration to make it about us. We don't do that. So,
I mean, if Essence was up for sale, like a Black American could have purchased it as well. It's 2025. It's going to look different. America's different. Everything is different. I mean, a little intellectually lazy just to say, well, oh, it's an African that's leading, you know, that owns it, and that's another one that's leading it. So they're trying to change everything.
what was lazy is that you're taking a situation where artists that are Black American have felt disrespected, that concert or festival attendees have felt disrespected, and or that their time was wasted, or why would they attend it. That is disrespectful. That is lazy. Throughout history, we have been disrespected. There's a lot of layers to our country. There's a lot of layers to who we are as people in our culture. So to come in and try to dismantle that is insane. And the fact that these artists have to even come out and express these concerns when that has never happened before. So yes, the ownership is the problem. Yes, trying to come in and change the Essence Festival is a problem. You should have left it alone. And we're not even out here trying to call out names. We're not even trying to be disrespectful. We're just addressing the fact that we feel that our culture is being disrespected and that we do not like the trajectory or where it is going, as we should. It was ours to begin with. Make it make sense. I'm just so tired of people that's not even Black American trying to act like we are just doing the most.
So Pan-Africanism sounds beautiful. In theory, it's let's unify the entire Black world under one love. But in practice, it's more like let's take all the flavor out the gumbo and call it stew. It's been decades, and what have we seen? Our music become global and we get erased from the charts. Our fashion become high fashion and we're left out of the campaign. Our platforms got opened up and suddenly we need permission slips to center ourselves. Pan-Africanism has not united the diaspora. It has diluted the Black American experience. And Caroline Wanga's Essence is proof of that. It's really giving, you should be grateful to be here, but no, sweetheart, we built this table. We seasoned the food. We made the playlist. And now you're telling us to make room for people who don't even bring foil to the cookout? Like, huh?
Some of us Africans are real hypocrites, and I say that as a Congolese woman born and raised in Germany, so I'm including myself too. What I want to say is that we need to be a bit more sensible to one another because it's not easy navigating spaces that were not built for us. This year, Essence Festival in NOLA went viral for many reasons, but what I want to speak about is this tension that came up because a lot of Black Americans felt like their space was being diluted and overshadowed by African influences. To me, this isn't about right or wrong. Hurtful things have been said on both sides, but they stem from rejection, and a lot of us Africans are the root of said rejection. For years we've mocked them, for years we've called them akata, we've told them that they don't know their roots, that they don't have culture, or made fun of them for not knowing where they're really from. Afro-Latinos versus Latinos, North Africans versus Sub-Saharan Africans, Africans living in the diaspora versus Africans living on the continent. It's always the same cycle of rejection, identity, pain. People just want to feel like they belong. People just want to feel understood. As a natural human response, when people feel they've been excluded for years, they're just going to create spaces that are exclusively built for them. And let's be honest, us Africans, we benefit a lot from Black American culture. We take from it all the time. Just look at me. The way that I speak, the way that I act, the way that I dress, the way that I do my hair, the way that I do my makeup. It's all been heavily influenced by Black American culture. The slang we use, the TikTok trends we follow, the dances, the music we listen to. a lot of that comes from them. So we can't keep benefiting from the culture and then get mad when the people, the originators of said culture is like, hey, this doesn't feel like it still belongs to us. And I also think it's important to remember from time to time that Black Americans are hundreds of years removed from the continent. They didn't leave voluntarily. They were taken by force, by slavery, through violence. So when some of them say that they don't feel like they're African American and they only feel Black American, can you really blame them? Controversial example, but take Donald Trump. His grandfather immigrated to the United States from Germany. That's only 2 generations removed. But you don't see Trump walking around identifying as a German American. He's just American because that's the country he grew up in and that's the culture that he knows. Same thing goes for a lot of Africans in the diaspora. When you ask them where they're from, they're gonna first mention the country that they live in, the country that they were born in, before they say, oh, but my parents are from. So why do we expect people who are hundreds of years removed to have the same culture, the same values, the same upbringing, this strong tie to Africa? It doesn't make sense.
Essencefest 2025 wasn't a failure. It was a wake-up call. Black Americans are now entering our boundaries era. We are not anti-African. We are not anti-exploitation. We are pro-protection. Because at the end of the day, if you change the menu, the music, the message, and the memories, don't be shocked when the people who made the cookout possible decided not to show up. So to the Essencefest leadership, bring back the collard greens. Please leave the Jollof respectfully on the side table and stop acting like Kendrick didn't already tell y'all they not like us. So this has been the Culture Debrief. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I talk about Black news all the time, so just stick around and support.